You think you are in control, that your will can bend the world to fit your plans, that if you push harder, grip tighter, and plan every second, life will reward you with certainty. But control is a seductive lie, and the tighter you cling to it, the more life slips through your fingers. The Stoics understood this before the world had smartphones, before calendars ruled our every move, before ambition became an addiction. They knew that the greatest battles are not waged in boardrooms or war zones. They are fought within. And the first enemy is the illusion that you can control anything beyond yourself. Look at your life. The job interview you rehearsed for weeks. The relationship you tried to save with endless compromise. The opportunities you chased only to see them dissolve like mist in the morning sun. You did everything right, and still, things fell apart. Why? Because life is not a machine. It is a river. And the more you try to dam it, the more it finds cracks in your structure. When you force outcomes, you become anxious. When you cling to expectations, you become fragile. But when you release your grip, when you surrender to the flow, something extraordinary happens. You begin to see clearly. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, wrote not from an ivory tower but from the heart of chaos. He faced betrayal, war, loss, yet his wisdom was calm and steady. He said, "Do not waste your energy fighting against what is. Accept what comes. Act with virtue. Let go of the rest." Most people think letting go means giving up. It does not. Letting go is the act of reclaiming your power. It is choosing to focus on what is yours and yours alone. Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. That is all you ever truly own. You are not here to control the weather, the market, the minds of others. You are here to master the storm within. That storm is the voice that says you are failing if you are not achieving. The fear that whispers if you do not hold on, you will lose everything. But the truth is, the more you grasp, the more you lose. Peace comes not from domination, but from clarity. You do not need to fix the world. You only need to master yourself. Think of the archer. He pulls the bowstring with focus and strength. He aims with discipline. But once the arrow leaves his fingers, it is no longer in his control. Wind, distance, fate. He does not chase the arrow. He releases it. And then he breathes. Your actions are the arrow. Your job is to aim with clarity, to act with integrity, to release with trust, and then to let go. You can prepare for the outcome. You can hope, but you cannot demand. Demanding leads to desperation. Desperation clouds your judgment. It makes you frantic. It steals your presence. And presence is where true power lives. In a world obsessed with noise and results, presence is a rebellion. A calm mind in a chaotic world is magnetic. It does not shout. It does not beg. It simply exists, and that is enough. The illusion of control is the root of your stress, but it is also the key to your transformation. Once you see it for what it is, you stop chasing shadows. You stop wasting your energy on what was never yours. You return to the center, to the breath, to the only place where life actually happens. Now, the Stoics called this living in accordance with nature. It means acting without attachment, doing your best without needing a result, accepting reality without resistance. If you are exhausted, it is not because you are weak. It is because you are fighting battles you were never meant to fight. You are trying to rewrite what already is, instead of responding with grace and strength. Control is an illusion, but discipline is not. And there is a difference. One chokes, the other empowers. Choose wisely. Now breathe and let go. You have been giving your power away. Not all at once. Slowly. Silently. Every time you try to control what others think, every time you base your worth on results, every time you let the future dictate your peace today, you are not powerless. You are distracted. You are not weak. You are scattered. Epictetus once said, "There is only one path to happiness. Stop worrying about things beyond your control." It sounds simple, but it takes strength most people never build, because we are conditioned to react, to grip, to fear. But what if your real strength is not in what you can fix, but in what you can release? What if peace comes not from force, but from focus? Look around. The most centered people are not the loudest. They are not the ones who need to prove anything. They know where their power lies, and it is never outside of them. Your power is not in the outcome of the job interview. It is in how you prepare. It is in your calm before you speak. It is in your decision to stay grounded when anxiety begs you to spiral. Your power is not in the person who left. It is in your ability to let them go with grace, to choose dignity over desperation, to choose yourself. Your power is not in the chaos of the world. It is in your response, in your breath, in your stillness. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. Two columns. What is mine? What is not? My energy belongs only to the first. You cannot control the weather, but you can choose how you walk through the storm. You cannot control the economy, but you can control how you show up every day, with courage, with patience, with purpose. Your power begins where your control ends. Read that again. Most people waste their lives trying to win battles they can never win. They argue with reality. They try to change people who do not want to change. They base their joy on outcomes they cannot guarantee. But not you. Not anymore. You will not waste your breath on what you cannot influence. You will not let noise steal your focus. You will not hand your peace to anyone who cannot carry it with care. You will reclaim your power. Quietly, consistently, without apology. And when the world tries to shake you, you will remain grounded. Because your roots are deep. Because your focus is clear. Because your mind has been trained not to chase, but to choose. You are not here to be reactive. You are here to respond with wisdom. To hold your center while others lose theirs. To be a lighthouse, not a leaf in the wind. That is power. Not control, but command of self. Let them wonder how you remain so calm. Let them question your silence. Let them try to shake what cannot be moved. You know who you are, and that is enough. Breathe. Focus. Reclaim what is already yours. Desperation is loud. It clings. It chases. It tries to bend the world by force. But alignment is quiet. It attracts. It moves with purpose. It allows the world to unfold with grace. Most people cannot see the difference until they feel the weight of one and the peace of the other. One leaves you exhausted. The other makes you powerful. Look at your own life. Think about the times you wanted something so badly you could feel your chest tighten. You texted too much. You worried too deeply. You made plans before anything was certain. And what happened? It slipped away. Not because you were not worthy, but because your energy pushed it away. Desperation is not attractive. It comes from fear. Fear of missing out. Fear of not being enough. Fear of being alone. But alignment is different. It comes from knowing who you are, from trusting what is meant for you, from acting not to impress, but to express. It is the difference between begging and building, between noise and presence. Think about a seasoned musician, one who plays not for applause, but because the music is in their blood. They do not force the performance. They feel it. They become it. And the audience feels it too. Now think of the musician who is desperate to be seen. Every note is performed, not expressed. Every movement calculated. And you can sense it. You cannot quite explain it. But it does not move you. That is what life is like when you are out of alignment. You might be doing all the right things, saying the right words, taking the right steps. But your energy betrays you. The Stoics taught that your state of mind shapes your reality. Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. That means begin with identity, then move into action, not the other way around. If you start from lack, your actions will reflect fear. But if you start from purpose, your actions will carry strength. So ask yourself, why are you doing what you are doing? Are you chasing something out of fear or moving towards something with intention? Desperation rushes. Alignment waits. Desperation grasps. Alignment receives. In relationships, this is everything. When you enter with anxiety trying to impress or prove, people feel it. They may not say it, but they sense it. It makes them pull away. But when you are grounded, when you enter with calm confidence, you become magnetic. You speak less but say more. You give space. You do not chase. You allow. And this is not just about dating. It is about how you show up in business, in friendship, in every interaction. The person who walks into a room knowing their value does not have to announce it. The room adjusts to their presence, not because they demanded it, but because they embodied it. This is what it means to live in alignment. It means you act with intention, not desperation. You trust the timing. You honor the process. You do your part, and you let go of the rest. There is a line between effort and obsession. One builds, the other breaks. So when you feel yourself slipping into panic, pause. Ask, am I aligned or am I afraid? Then return to the center. Breathe. Move with clarity. Because in the end, what is meant for you will not require you to beg. It will ask for your presence, your preparation, and your patience. Not panic, not pressure, just alignment. You plant a seed, you water it, you give it sunlight, but no matter how hard you stare at it, it will not grow faster. And if you dig it up every morning to check its roots, you kill it. Life works the same way. We live in a world that glorifies speed, fast food, fast money, fast results. And we are told that if success does not come quickly, we are doing something wrong. But the truth is, greatness takes time. Wisdom takes time. Mastery takes time. The Stoics knew this long before social media taught us to chase likes over legacy. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." And he was right. Patience is not passive. It is powerful. It is the strength to stay steady when your ego demands urgency. It is the maturity to trust the process even when you do not see results. You have been told to never give up. But the real lesson is to never give in to doubt, to stay the course without demanding the outcome. Because the moment you tie your piece to the result, you give away your power. Let go of the outcome. Focus on the input, the daily actions, the habits, the discipline. That is where life is shaped. Think of the athlete who trains day after day, not knowing when the breakthrough will come. If they only trained when they felt progress, they would stop at the first plateau. But they trust the process. And one day they lift heavier, move faster, and wonder how it happened. It did not happen in a day. It happened because of every day. This is how success is built. Quietly, relentlessly, over time. Now, apply this to your life. The project you are building, the skill you are learning, the relationship you are nurturing. If you demand instant reward, you suffocate growth. But if you give it space, and time, and consistent energy, it will bloom. Letting go of the outcome does not mean you do not care. It means you care deeply about what is in your hands, and you release what is not. It means you trust that your effort matters, even when results are invisible, that your path has meaning, even when you cannot see the destination. It means you stop measuring your worth by what happens, and start measuring it by how you show up. The Stoics lived this daily. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he wrote, "Do what you must, and let what happens happen." He did not seek control. He sought clarity. He did not demand victory. He demanded virtue. So, let that be your guide. Do your work with excellence. Then release it. Speak your truth with courage. Then be still. Take the step with faith. Then surrender. Because your peace is not a prize you win. It is a posture you hold. And that posture is built, not by force, but by trust. Trust in your actions, trust in your growth, trust that life is unfolding as it should. And when it feels slow, remember this. The most powerful forces in nature move quietly. The mountains rise without sound. The seasons change without permission. You do not need noise to grow. You need patience. You need faith. You need to stay the course. Let go of the outcome. Trust the process. And let life surprise you. The mind is a garden. Whatever you plant, grows. Thoughts are the seeds. And most people do not even know what they are planting. They wake up anxious. They speak to themselves in whispers of doubt. They replay mistakes. They fear the future. Then they wonder why their life feels heavy. But you are not most people. And your mind is not a dumping ground. It is sacred soil. It is where everything begins. And if you do not learn to master it, it will master you. The Stoics taught that nothing outside of us is the source of suffering. It is the story we tell ourselves about what happens that creates pain. A challenge does not break you. Your interpretation of that challenge does. You miss the opportunity. Now your mind says you are not good enough. You got rejected. Now your mind says you are unworthy. You failed once. Now your mind says you will always fail. But here is the truth. A thought is not a fact. A belief is not a prophecy. And you do not have to accept every idea your mind throws at you. You can step back. You can question it. You can reframe it. The voice in your head can be your critic, or it can be your coach. You decide. Think of the athlete who misses the shot. One voice says, "I knew I would mess up." The other says, "That was a lesson. I will adjust and get better." Same event, different mindset. And that difference shapes everything. The Stoics called this the practice of reason. To pause before reacting. To examine the thought. To challenge the default. To choose a better one. It takes work. It takes discipline. But it is worth it. Because the voice you hear most often is your own. And that voice shapes your identity. If you speak to yourself with judgment, you shrink. If you speak with compassion, you grow. So ask yourself, what kind of inner dialogue are you running? Is it based on fear or on growth? Instead of saying, "I am terrible at this," say, "I am learning something new." Instead of thinking, "I always mess things up," say, "I am figuring it out, one mistake at a time." Instead of repeating, "I am not ready," say, "I may not be perfect, but I am prepared to try." This is not about lying to yourself. It is about telling the truth in a way that strengthens you. It is about replacing harshness with honesty. Not the kind that cuts you down, but the kind that calls you higher. And this is where you begin to change. Not when the world gets easier. Not when people finally see your worth. But when you stop fighting yourself. When you begin to speak like someone who believes in who they are becoming. Your mind will resist at first. It will try to drag you back into the spiral. But that is where practice comes in. You catch the thought. You breathe. You replace it. Over and over. Until the new thoughts become the default. Until the voice in your head becomes your ally. Because you are always speaking to yourself. The only question is, are you building yourself up or tearing yourself down? You get to choose. So plant carefully. Speak deliberately. And watch what grows. The present moment is quiet, subtle, often ignored, but it is the only place you will ever be truly alive. Most people miss their lives because they are too busy living in the next moment. They are rehearsing futures that have not happened, regretting pasts that cannot be changed. They eat, but they are scrolling. They walk, but they are thinking. They sit with loved ones, but their minds are 1,000 miles away. And then one day they wake up and wonder, where their time went. But presence, real presence, is power. It is the antidote to stress, the foundation of peace, the starting place of clarity. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not let your mind be stolen by what has passed or what may come. Focus only on what stands before you." When? Noted W.U. The moment in front of you is the only one you can act on. You cannot breathe yesterday. You cannot touch tomorrow. All you ever have is now. And now is enough. Think about a time when you were fully immersed in something. Maybe it was music, or a deep conversation, or a walk through nature. For a moment, you forgot your fears. You forgot your to-do list. You were just there. That feeling is not rare. It is your natural state. You just have to return to it. It starts with noticing your breath, your surroundings, the way your body feels, the thoughts moving across your mind like clouds. Do not judge them. Observe them. Anchor yourself to the moment. You do not need incense or a mountain retreat. You just need attention. To choose now over next. To be here instead of elsewhere. Presence does not remove problems, but it removes the weight of problems that do not belong to this moment. It cuts through noise. It creates stillness. And in stillness you find answers. It is in the now that you hear your intuition. It is in the now that you feel your strength. It is in the now that you remember you are enough, even without a finished plan. Most people are running. From what? They do not even know. They keep moving because stillness scares them. But stillness is where growth happens, where healing begins, where power returns. So if you feel overwhelmed, come back. Right here, right now. Ask, what can I do in this moment to move forward? Not 5 days from now, not after the perfect plan, just this moment, just this step. And that is all you ever need. Presence is not weakness. It is not laziness. It is full engagement with life. It is clarity. It is focus. It is strength. The world will try to pull you into chaos, into distraction, into comparison. Let them chase. You will remain here, rooted, still, present. Because this moment is not just a pause. It is the foundation. And everything that matters begins here. Scarcity whispers that there is not enough time, not enough money, not enough love, not enough space for you to win. It makes you rush. It makes you chase. It makes you believe that if you do not grab what you want right now, it will be gone forever. But abundance moves differently. It trusts. It breathes. It sees opportunities where others see competition. It knows there is enough for everyone, especially for those who act with patience and purpose. The Stoics never measured wealth by possessions. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Because real richness is not how much you own. It is how little you need to feel full." Look at your life. How many times have you thought, when I get this, I will feel whole. When I reach this goal, I will finally rest. When I have enough, I will be enough. But it never ends. You chase the next thing, and the next. But fulfillment stays one step ahead, like a shadow you cannot touch. Because the problem is not out there. It is in the mindset, in the belief that you lack something essential. But you are not lacking. You are abundant. You just forgot how to see it. Gratitude is the lens that reveals it. When you practice gratitude, you shift your attention. You stop looking for what is missing and start seeing what is already here. You notice the breath in your lungs, the people who care for you, the lessons that shaped you, the strength you built quietly through hardship. You remember that you are not behind. You are becoming. Scarcity screams. Abundance listens. Scarcity reacts. Abundance responds. Scarcity grasps. Abundance allows. When you embody abundance, you move with confidence. You stop panicking when things do not go your way. You stop forcing every outcome. You stop comparing your path to someone else's highlight reel. Instead, you begin to trust. You trust that what is meant for you will come, not through fear, but through alignment. This mindset does not make you passive. It makes you powerful. Because when you stop needing everything to prove your worth, you start building from a solid place. And from that place, you attract more. Not because you are chasing, but because you are ready. Abundance does not wait for perfect timing. It shows up when you do. So breathe. Look around. Recognize the gifts in your life, even the quiet ones. Gratitude is not just a feeling. It is a strategy, a compass, a reset button for the soul. Practice it daily. Speak it out loud. Let it change the way you see. Because once you shift from scarcity to abundance, the whole world changes shape. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Letting go is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is knowing when to act and when to surrender, when to hold on and when to release, when to speak and when to be still. You have been told that control equals power, but the Stoics taught the opposite. True power comes from focus, from mastering yourself, from letting go of what was never yours to begin with. You do not control the timing. You do not control other people. You do not control outcomes, but you control you, your breath, your discipline, your direction. That is enough. You do not need to chase. You do not need to beg. You do not need to force. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are in process. Life will bend. Plans will change. People will come and go. But your peace does not have to leave with them. Because your peace lives inside you. And it cannot be taken. Only given away. You are not here to perform. You are not here to impress. You are here to become. So let go of the pressure. Let go of the noise. Let go of the outcome. And return to what you can control. Your actions, your thoughts, your values, your presence. Because once you stop chasing what is not yours, you begin to attract what is. You become lighter, clearer, stronger. You move with grace. You speak with depth. You walk with purpose. This is the art of letting go. And once you learn it, you will never go back. Because the most powerful version of you is not desperate, not loud, not frantic. It is calm. It is clear. It is focused. And it is already inside you. You just have to return to it. So take a deep breath and begin.